your sun. 12 News starts with breaking news.
That local breaking news here at 12:30, an investigation now underway after a 14-year-old is shot and killed in Richmond last night. Officers got a call about a person shot at the intersection of 4th Avenue and Front Street just before 11 p.m. When they arrived on scene, police tell us they found a teenager who had been shot. He was rushed to the hospital but later died. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number 804-780-1000. We will of course bring you the latest on this developing story as the afternoon progresses. Also breaking here at 12:30, Alec Murdoch is sentenced to another 40 years in prison for nearly 24 financial crimes. This comes after he pleaded guilty last September to 22 federal charges, including wire and bank fraud. He admitted to stealing money from his clients and law firm for personal use. Murdoch has already been convicted and sentenced to 27 years for similar crimes in state court. The former lawyer is also serving 2 life sentences for the murders of his wife and son. Switching gears now, taking a live look outside on your Monday afternoon. You may want to have an umbrella handy as we are expecting some showers today. Let's send it over to meteorologist Khalil McIver with a look at the forecast. And how long do we expect that rain to be around today?
Oh, we're mainly looking at probably the post-sunset hours, probably around 7 o'clock and onwards overnight. But right now we're enjoying dry conditions around the air with mostly cloudy skies. Currently out at the airport, 61 degrees. Winds out of the south-southwest around 10 miles per hour. Then as we look at the Doppler radar, a clear scan for now around the region, as we did see a bit of an active radar yesterday, but currently temperatures are climbing out of the 50s now into the 60s, even looking at the 70s down towards Franklin and Emporia, just teasing the temperatures around there too. But right now looking at going to see a high of around 75 degrees this afternoon, but going to be seeing gradually increasing chances of some rain and thunder as we head towards the overnight and evening hours. Sun setting around 7:33 later on. But as we look at our weather headlines, going to be seeing multiple chances of rain today, at least on through Wednesday. And with that, seeing the potential for some strong severe storms also potentially as we head on through Wednesday too. But looking towards the tail end of the week, going to be seeing things drying out and clearing out, but also cooling down as we head towards the weekend and get closer to the Great American Eclipse. Of all the details on your full forecast as well as your hour-by-hour forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Khalil, thank you so much. Funeral services are underway for a Chesterfield County woman who was hit and killed by a car 1 week ago today. Shonda Bazell was walking with her husband in the Amherst Ridge Loop area when the pair was hit by a car. Shonda was rushed to the hospital where she later died. Her husband Derek survived but says he's devastated by this loss. Police tell us 22-year-old Daniel Anderson was driving the car that hit the couple. He has since been charged with second-degree murder. Developing now, crews responding to a fire at a Henrico business, the very same scene of a deadly double shooting on Friday. Now, crews were called to this building on East 9 Mile Road just before 1:30. It's dark. It's hard to see some of the damage there. We're still working to find out what sparked the fire or if anyone is hurt. Meanwhile, we're also trying to see if this is tied to Friday's deadly double homicide. So far, police have not mentioned a motive or any potential suspects, but they are asking anyone who may know about all of this to give Crime Stoppers a call. That number 804-780-1000. We're also following developing news out of Prince George County this afternoon, where 2 people are in the hospital after being shot at a gas station. Officers telling us that shooting happened in the parking lot of a Sheetz along Colonial Crossing Drive. Now, 2 men were found there with gunshot wounds. One of them taken by med flight to a local hospital where he is fighting for his life. The other is expected to recover. Police have not yet released any suspect information, but if you know anything, you are asked to call Crime Solvers there at 804-733-2777. An investigation is also underway after a man is shot and killed by Richmond police. Just before 5 Sunday morning, police getting that call about a person with a weapon along Cedar Street. Within minutes of arriving on the scene, officers say they found a man who then pulled out a gun, and that's when police shot, hitting that person. The man was rushed to the hospital where he later died. As part of protocol, we are told the officer involved here is on administrative leave. Richmond police also investigating an armed robbery of a mail carrier. The deputy Commonwealth's attorney confirming this all happened Thursday on East Franklin Street. Thankfully, the mail carrier is not hurt, but here's the issue. The master key was stolen. This means the suspect can really open any mailbox in the Richmond area. Officials are now encouraging residents to not put any sensitive information in those USPS mailboxes, the blue ones we see all around. That includes tax documents. Anyone with information is asked to call police. Now to the very latest on the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. This afternoon, officials are working on a temporary channel to allow shipping vessels to once again start flowing into the critical port as the massive salvage operation gets underway. Aaron Gilchrist has the latest.
This morning, a new phase in the round-the-clock effort at the Key Bridge in Baltimore. New lighted navigation aids now on the Patapsco River, creating a sort of runway on the water for a temporary channel for essential ships only. Officials calling it an important first step in reopening the Port of Baltimore. Many of Baltimore's 8,000 dock workers are waiting for that temporary shipping channel to open, which officials say could allow some commercial activity to resume. The Coast Guard sharing video of crews using cutting torches to burn through steel all weekend, while heavy lift cranes moved the pieces to waiting barges. It's an all-out effort to reopen this vital waterway.
We've been able to cut up some of the pieces, and the removal process is now going to be an ongoing process.
And more reinforcements are on the way. A fourth crane expected to arrive today, along with support tugs and barges throughout the week. All told, an armada of nearly 40 vessels and almost 400 people will work to clear the bridge, the cargo ship, and the debris on the riverbed. The goal, to clear the way for commerce to start flowing again through the Port of Baltimore.
Baltimore is specialized, it's large, it's an important part of the system.
With the port gates closed, very little is moving at marine terminals. Carnival cruise ship passengers sailing out of Baltimore bust back on Sunday from a port in Norfolk, Virginia.
Holy hell!
And in Oklahoma this weekend, another scare on the water, when a barge hit a bridge pillar on the Arkansas River, temporarily shutting it down. Back in Baltimore, progress on the river's surface clouded by dangerous conditions below, preventing divers from searching for 4 still missing workers killed in Tuesday's collapse.
We owe it to these families to bring a sense of closure. And so as soon as it is safe for our divers to get back into the water, those divers are going back in the water.
That was Aaron Gilchrist reporting. A $40 million lawsuit filed by former Rich Neck Elementary School teacher Abby Zwarner will now head to trial as planned. This comes after the Virginia Court of Appeals declined to hear an appeal in the case on Friday. In January of last year, Zwarner was shot by one of her students inside her classroom. And in November, a judge sided with Zwarner's attorneys to allow the case to go to trial, rejecting the school board's claim that her only remedy for her injuries was filing a workers' compensation claim. In Henrico County, the deadline to apply for the county's tax relief program is today. It's for qualifying homeowners who are over 65 years or who are disabled. It places a cap on real estate tax bills at the amount paid when the property owner enters that program. You can apply over at henrico.us to learn more. Still to come here at 12:30, an investigation underway in Indiana after 7 are injured in a mall shooting. Police now saying there could be more than one suspect they're looking for. Plus, major developments from the war in Gaza, what Israeli officials have to say about the end of a 2-week raid of the area's largest hospital.